Hey everybody, I am back with part 2 of my parasodes, episodes, minisodes, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. But I'll give everybody a chance to get in. I'm trying to find some good lighting here. I don't think I have any really good lighting, but I'm going to give people a chance to get on before I start. If you guys were on earlier or caught the replay, oh my God, it was a massive Periscope episode that I didn't anticipate doing so long. I just jumped on really to say a few words and didn't expect it to go on as long as it did. But there were a lot of revelations and a lot of aha moments, and people were loving the information that I was sharing. Trying to get some good light, guys. I don't want to, it's all dark over here. Oh yeah, here's a good light right here. As you can see, I'm back at the lake, as you can see. But yeah, if you tuned in earlier, I'm losing my light. If you tuned in earlier to my Periscope, just say yeah. Hey Doreen, welcome back. I'm on my phone, so it's probably going to be a little bit unstable. Hey Miss Fina, hey everybody that's joining in now. I almost kind of felt like I had to take a nap after that last Periscope. We went in, didn't we? Oh my goodness. For those of you who are watching the replay, you don't know what I'm talking about. This morning when I got up, I decided I was going to do a Periscope. And then as the day went on and as I kind of moved on in my work, I decided to do a series. You know how you do like a mini series on TV, and it's like one a day, and until there's a culmination to a big ending. But I figured I'd do a couple of Periscopes today. So I don't know how many more I have left in me today. Maybe 2 more. I don't know. Is Jose behind? No, I didn't bring Jose this time, because you know what happens whenever I bring Jose to the lake. Every time someone rides by on a skateboard or bike, something with wheels, or he sees another dog or someone gets too close, he freaks out. So yeah, he's protective. So he's mad. He's at the door waiting for me to come back, because I told him I wasn't taking him to the lake. But no, I just wanted to have some peace and quiet to do this one. And I like coming to the lake when I'm by myself and it's quiet. And if you guys saw my Instagram, I got a surprise visit. There is bugs all over the place today. I got a surprise today. My nephew, the little one, stopped by to see me. My brother had stopped by to drop something off. And my little one, he was here. And you guys give him hearts all the time. So I said, no, we're not going to do a Periscope. But him and his brother are coming by tomorrow evening. We're gonna spend some time together. But yeah. So, and you know what? I want you guys to see this. You see that bird? That's a vulture. And I'm glad Jose's not here, because they like actually his 2 friends just showed up. Damn, I can never catch a break. Every time I come over here, it's either an alligator or vultures or something. So that means there must be a dead animal or something. Oh, I hate to be so crude, but yeah, there must be something over there. But anyway, enough of that. You guys, I usually get muffled when I use my phone, so I apologize. I'm trying to hold it so that it is in a good position. Somebody asked me earlier about MiFi and things that I use. So I bought it with me. This is the one I use. This is from Virgin Mobile. He's getting a little bit too close for my comfort. Yeah. Anyway, this is it. So if you guys are traveling, I highly endorse. It's a MiFi. It says it on the back. See, let me cover my passcode. It's a MiFi, and it's about the size of a credit card. I mean, it's really cool. And do I have it powered up? Yeah. You turn it on, you see the green light there. You can see that. And I use this when I travel, because I had said before that you guys, when you travel, you should be safe. And I know that there's complimentary Wi-Fi and things like that, but we live in an age where anybody can hack you. So, anywho. Well, let me move on to the topic. I was trying to wait to see if some other people would come on. So if you guys invite some people on, I'm going to get started. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about, and given our last conversation, I gave you guys a lot to think of. And I wanted to kind of come from another angle. A lot of people are afraid of failure. And I mention all the time how, I have failed. I failed publicly and all of that stuff. But I think for some people, especially people who are used to succeeding or doing well or being overachievers or whatever you call them, they can't take failures and they find themselves at a loss when something happens. And I used to be that way. I used to be really devastated because I was one of those kids that I was in the gifted classes. And, I always got good grades and did what was expected and things like that. And my parents expected that. They didn't, prepare me for failure. There's kids over there, they're fishing where the alligator is, and I don't know. Oh, he just saw the alligator. That's what that is. He's kind of freaking out because he poked his head up. I told y'all before, they keep messing with them damn alligators. You see what's going to happen, right? So anyway, but, I think my parents, they ill prepared me for failure. And the first time I ever had to experience real failure, it devastated me. And as an entrepreneur, you know that becomes your best friend at times. Run, kids, run. Yeah, they better run. You know that failure becomes inevitable. It becomes something that it makes you tougher. It makes you stronger. There are two responses. Either you can run from failure, or you can take it on, look at it, and fail and learn from it. And I've had to learn from failure. And I look at them as learning lessons and stepping stones. People think there's an embarrassing stigma that comes with failure, and it really isn't, because I told someone the other day, and I think I might have said it on my Periscope, failure means no, not right now, or no, not this way, or no, not with these people. And to me, it's just an opportunity for you to figure out the best way, figure out what does work and what is the right way. With small businesses, a lot of people, well, let me say it like this. A lot of people with social media figure that social media is a tool to put your best face forward. You have to be made up. You have to be dressed up. You have to show this appearance that you're a multi-billion-dollar company. And that whole thing, fake it till you make it and all of that. And I always laugh when people say, fake it till you make it. And then they tell you in the next breath, you got to be real and authentic. Which one is it? I mean, back when I started my first business in 1994, yeah, you had to fake it till you make it. You had to have that bigger appearance than what you were. I mean, I was the one person, and I'm going to be totally honest, one person. I had not a computer, and many of you already know the story, not a computer, but I had a word processor. So yeah, that dates me. And for those of you wondering how old I am, I'm 46, and I'm not that old. But anyway, I had a word processor, and I started with the phone books. I lived in New York City at the time, and I started with all the phone books from the 5 boroughs and my phone, And at that time, did I have a cell phone? I don't remember if I had a cell phone or not, but, I started from like scratch, bare scratch or whatever. And at that time, the internet wasn't big. It was really still a tool that big businesses saw as a time waster and things that people, something that people played on and that they had to block and all that other stuff before it got really sophisticated to where it is now. Is that I thought I saw a rainbow. Anyway, so you had to fake it till you make it. Today, I thought you knew that everyone on social media rode around in Cadillac and never had. Yeah, I know, everybody. And they have rims and they got mansions and yachts and popping bottles all the time. Yeah, of course they are. Yeah. But back then you had to fake it till you make it. Because bigger businesses wouldn't do business with you if you didn't appear larger. Well, fast forward to today, we have the internet, we have social media, we have everything, and it levels the playing field. And you can be small and be proud. Now, I know my whole thing is to help you grow and scale your companies, and that's what I do. And I didn't introduce myself. We just jumped right into it. For those of you who don't know, this is your first time, I'm Adrian Graham. I am the founder and CEO of Empower Me Corporation, which is empowerme.org. I hope I'm not covering the mic. Empowerme.org. And I help businesses grow and scale to become companies. That's what I do. And other stuff too, but that's who I am. But now it's not a stigma with being a mom and pop or being a one-person shop or being a small business. My thing is, if you decide that you don't want to stay a small business, that's what I'm here for, to help you grow beyond small business. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with being small. There's nothing wrong with being a one-person shop. The problem becomes when you are a one-person shop or a mom and pop and you're trying to be something bigger. So if you are Stacy's Dress Boutique on the corner and you're trying to position yourself as a Neiman Marcus, or Saks Fifth Avenue, there's a problem with that. You can't do that. Oh God, I don't know how to turn off my notifications. But anyway, so that's the whole thing. You have to kind of meet people where they are on the internet and what their expectations are. I believe in being transparent and being very open and 100% about who I am and what I do and who I can serve and who I can't serve and who I won't serve. Because you have to be real and transparent. It doesn't mean putting all your business out in the street. I don't believe in that. But it means being honest enough to let people see the real you, because you're the person that's going to service them. So back to the failing thing. A lot of small businesses feel that they may be looked at as incompetent, or they're looked at as if they're not good enough if they're small. So understandably, they want to have a bigger perception than what they really are. But you can't do that, because then you set yourself up for real failure. And I mean, there's regular failure when something doesn't work. And then there's failure as in, what the hell were you thinking kind of failure. And you don't want that second kind of failure. You don't want the failure that comes about as a result of you portraying yourself as something that you're not. And a lot of people do that. Nobody I hang out with, of course, but people do that. But you have to be open in a way. Yeah, you have to be open and honest with people. Let them in a little bit, as much as you can. Here's the thing. People ask me all the time, should I have a personal brand or should I have my business brand? What should I do? Should I combine the two? You guys know me. I'm crazy. I'm silly. I'll have my nephews on one day. I'll have business on the next day, or I'll be telling somebody about themselves the next day. Is what you see is what you get with me. That's who I am. But there becomes a danger when you build yourself up to be something that you're not. And then people start taking notice and they're impressed and they want to do business with you. And then when they do business with you and you can't deliver, that's a big letdown. That's really a no-no for me in my eyes. And I think that you need to, thank you for sharing. I think that you need to really be careful about what it is that you're going to do and how you portray yourself, because I don't want you to do anything to damage yourself or damage your credibility. Because look at it this way. In the very beginning, when you're a small business, it's you. So it's your personal reputation on the line. It's you who people are looking at as face value. It should be a mix in order to gain the know, like, and trust factor. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's you in the beginning. But as you grow and as you scale and build a business, a company, that trust has to transfer over to your company and to your people who are representing your company. So if you're going to, when you come in the beginning, you have to be 100% real, 100% honest, and be who you are, because that's a reflection throughout your core values of your company. And I've always believed that I don't let anybody represent my business, my brand, my company name, any of that, unless I first vetted them. And second, that I know that they have the same integrity and the same rules and standing that I do, because you got to be careful who you let represent your brand, and that could be considered fake. Like if you have somebody, it's a big ugly bug. If you have somebody come into your business who represents you and they're less than stellar, or something, is not right with them, that's a reflection on you. So you got to be protective at all times of your brand. That's right. Amen. It is. And kind of flowing off topic, because I really, there's some things I really want to talk about that, but I wanted to put that out there. We talked about customer acquisition and customers and things like that in the last Periscope. I wanted to talk to you guys about customer experience and creating that experience. And it kind of leads into the whole failure topic. I'm sorry, guys. There's like this bugs all over the place today. If it's not the damn alligators, the bugs. My God. This is about being outside in nature. Anyway, customers, right? Customer experience. I do my best to be very honest up front when I talk to potential customers. I let them know I'm not for everybody. And this is what I want you guys to do too. I mean, get a pen and pad and write this down. The customer experience starts with that very first conversation. And if you know in your heart that this is not a good match, and you know in your heart that if you accept this check, if you accept this deposit, if you accept this paying client, and it's only going to bring nothing but drama, then you have put yourself in a position to fail. Okay, you know what? I gotta move. These damn bugs. You put yourself in a position to fail. And you're creating an experience for your customers that's not what it's supposed to be. Let's say that. I'll give you an example. Let me back up. Let me kind of give you the prelude to it. I believe in referrals. I always look at referrals. Whenever someone sends me a referral, I think that's a reflection on our relationship. And I think that it is them praising, giving me praise for being good at what I do. Because I'm not going to refer anybody to anyone else who I don't think is above par. So whenever I get a referral, this lighting is bad. Whenever I get a referral, I treat that with high regard. So recently, a couple of months ago, I got a referral from someone who I highly admire, someone who is tops in what he does and just kills it. He's excellent. And any referral that comes from him is like gold to me. So I'm dropping stuff all over the place. So when he sent this referral to me, I violated my own rules. One of the rules that I have is always vet the customer, no matter where they came from. Because like I said a few minutes ago, I'm trying to find the light, guys. Like I said a few minutes ago, you don't want to be in a situation where it's a bad fit because you're stuck with this person for the lifetime of your contract. So I signed up with them, and at that point, it was more of, I want to be established in this new field. Yeah, that's where my mind was. I want to be established in this new field because I was trying to branch out into another industry. Same services, but a different vertical. And because of who the referral came from, I said, yeah, let's do it. Went down there, had the meeting face to face because I always do my contracts face to face. Signed the contract right there on the spot. Paid his deposit because you guys know if you're gonna get a contract signed, you better get some money up front. And explain to the company what my process was, what I do, and be prepared there are going to be big changes, and be prepared to hand the process over to me. So I met resistance, and it was kind of that whole following up behind you kind of thing. And I don't like micromanagers. I really don't. And they're good people. I'm not blasting them out. Please don't think that. But it was just an example of the wrong fit. They were not ready. When it came time to set up meetings for him, he was incognito. I didn't hear from him. He was traveling. He wouldn't return calls. And then I started thinking something's wrong. So by week 4, and this is true story, honest. I don't hide anything. I don't have to hide anything. I don't care. But by week 4, I sent him a note early that morning, about 7:30 that morning. Hey, it's me. We need to get these meetings scheduled so that you can make your decision and blah, 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 blah. Plus, we have some other things that we need to do with workforce planning. So I get an email about maybe 10:30 that morning saying, oh, I appreciate everything that you've done. You were wonderful. However, I want to suspend the contract because I think that either there's a disconnect. These were his words, not mine. There's a disconnect, or maybe you don't know our industry. And I took offense to it immediately because I was trying not to get in my feelings, but it was like, how dare, what? And I sat back and I thought about it, and the signs were there. And this is where it goes back to whole customer experience and how you have to map all this out before you even start servicing your first customer. The signs were there. The missed phone calls, the inability to get in touch with him when I needed to, his second in command always interfering and asking questions, which I don't mind. You have to ask questions, but trying to do my work for me. Little signs like that. I mean, they're wonderful people. I'm not mad at them. Don't think that I am, and don't think that I'm resentful. I'm not. But they weren't ready. They were not ready for what I had in store for them. And this is why I tell people all the time, I'm not for everybody. I am not for everybody. If you are not ready to turn over the reins, do you see, who is it? Tabitha Salon Takeover. If you guys have ever seen that on Bravo, Tabitha is the hairstylist. She goes in and tap the hearts if you know who Tabitha is, or type yes if you know who she is. But Tabitha Coffee, she goes in and she remakes salons. She takes over for the week and she takes the keys and she's in charge for that time that she's with them. Well, it is theatrical and dramatic as that, but basically the function that they're handing over to me, I'm taking over. Give me the keys. I'm doing this. This is me. This is what I do. This is my lane. And you have to be comfortable with it, because if you didn't need change, if you didn't need me, you would have called me to begin with. If you feel what I'm saying, hit the hearts. But, and they weren't ready for that. And I tell my clients all the time, you have to be ready, whatever we're working on, whether it's your workforce planning, whether it is your distribution model, or whatever it is that you hire me on to take on for you. You pay me to get results. So you have to be able to stand back, give it to me, and let it go. Now, I don't go as far as my favorite, the prophet, Marcus Lemonis. I love him. But I don't go as far as him and say, I'm in charge and I don't do that. That piece, that's me. I'm in charge. And it goes back to customer experience and failure and understanding what your process is. If you've accounted for all of that in the beginning, and you sit your clients down in the very beginning, and you have to be very honest and upfront about what it is that you do, why you do it, how you do it, what you're going to do. You have to be honest with them up front and tell them in the beginning. Now, I told him this is a process. We had signed a 6-month contract, and it's a process. So 4 weeks in, everything is not going to be finished. But he felt there was a disconnect, and maybe they weren't ready, or he doesn't know, but he was underwhelmed. That's the word that he used. And I immediately thought, failure. I'm a failure. And I got upset at first. But then I stopped about a week into that whole pity party. And the person that introduced him to me, I felt so bad, because I was like, I want him to have a good impression of me. And I want him to understand the professionalism that I bring to the table and the skills that I bring to the table, my talent. And I just worried so much about what he would say. And then when I saw him, he didn't say anything, but I think he may have known, but he didn't say anything. But I'm a professional, and what happens between me and my client, I'm not going to discuss that with the person who referred them, But I was waiting for him to say something, but he never said anything. But I think he knows that it didn't work out. And I was more disappointed in myself, because I didn't follow my own rules. I did not vet him properly. I did not I took it as, because it was a referral, I took it as golden, and that was it. So I didn't do my due diligence. And looking back on it, there's a reason why all of that stuff was not working before he brought me on. And I should have recognized that. But I didn't, because it was a client, it was a referral, and I wanted to make the person who referred him, proud and happy that he referred me, But I violated my own rule, and that caused a failure for me. So I eat that. I own that. That's me. I violated my own rules. So you need to be super careful and super sure about how you communicate with your customers about their experience, about your process, about what their expectations should be, and always ask questions. Now, the one thing they could never say, we were on the phone, me and his second in command, on the phone maybe 3 times a week, 4 times a week. She would call, or I would call her, just to keep up, and really, I over communicate. That's what I do, because I'd rather over communicate than under communicate. And I communicate by phone, and then I follow up and reiterate by email, so there's no misunderstandings. So that was a lesson for me. It was a very recent failure lesson for me. Did it break me? No. It upset me a little bit. It threw me off my game, because I started feeling bad, and because there was another party involved. If this had been someone that had come from my website or social media, or someone I met at a conference or something, I don't think I would have gotten as shaken up by it not working. But because it was a referral from someone I admire and trust and respect, I felt like a failure in that. So, and I hope you guys understand, I hope this helps you kind of put some clarity into your own experiences with customers. When I talk about customer experience, I think about the Ritz-Carlton. They had, maybe not as stringent as the Ritz-Carlton. If you don't know, they have their own worldwide award-winning customer service training program that a lot of the big companies either pattern after, or they license them or use them so that they can do, use their training program. And their customer experience, that's make or break. And a violation of that will get you fired. from the Ritz-Carlton. So you say something wrong to a customer, boom, you're done. If you argue with a customer, you're done. If you don't do what a customer expects of you or asks of you, you're done. So I started thinking, and I'm like, okay, so are we creating our own customer experiences? What are people thinking when they walk away from us? What are people thinking when they encounter our brand? You know, let's shift over to that for a little bit. We talked a little bit about failure. Let's talk about the brand experience. You know, my thing is whoever someone deals with from my office, it has to be on point. Oh, I have a story, a good illustration for you. So remember the last episode I told you guys I had my magazine and I was getting bloggers together and everything. And one of the people who kind of bailed on me, she was in charge of rounding out the bloggers and getting them for me. Well, after we severed that relationship, there were a couple of people who, when I spoke with them, when I reached out to them, they were kind of standoffish. I'm the type of person, I'm going to pick up a phone. I picked up the phone, and one person told me that the person who was handling that was very rude and condescending and told her, I don't know the exact words, but I'm going to tell you kind of what she meant. You should be honored that Adrian is giving you an opportunity because you're going to have all of this exposure and you know all the media that she gets and you're going to get that too. So I don't know why you feel that you have to have special privileges or something to that effect. All she told her was, I just would like to have my byline and a link to my website, which is not unreasonable. If you're blogging for me, you're doing it as a favor. Yeah, I'm going to promote you as much as I can. And this woman told her, you know, well, you're already getting exposure. Hi, Unique. Good morning, afternoon. And you know, she was very rude to her. So she said, when I talked to her, she said, I honestly was really thinking about whether or not to return your call because of the experience that I had with her. And I explained to her she's no longer with us. I gave her the brief story. I didn't tell her everything. But that goes to show you how one person can damage your brand. Hey, one person can torpedo your brand. So and she's not the only person that made that complaint about her. So you got to be careful when you're crafting your brand experience and your customer experience. You have to be careful of who you put in charge of that, who you let represent that. Because this chick almost, I don't know if it was an unconscious thing or, you know, and I set the bar very high for my business, for my standards for people. And anybody who's done business with me, you know how I roll. But I don't position myself as better than anyone. I don't position myself as I'm here and you're here. That doesn't work. That doesn't work in my business. That doesn't work in my life. You know, I may joke with my friends and say, please, I'm more famous than you or whatever, and I'm not famous. But, you know, but you have to be careful. And you have to understand that everybody's not going to represent your company the way that you do. I know that's right. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's not going to represent your company the way that you do. So back to the Ritz-Carlton. So I understand why they have the customer experience and the customer training that they do, because they want their customers to be handled in a certain way. And now see how the dude just rolled by on his little skate bike or whatever that is. Now, you know, if Jose was here, y'all know already, Jose would have went ballistic and chased him down the road. But anyway, but it's important that you create your customer experience. So you need to be thinking from now, what is the experience that I want my customers to have? Is it white glove, you know, top of the line champagne and caviar kind of experience? You know, you got to think about that. And I always make sure I try my best. And I've had some assistants that were, how can I say, a little less responsive than I would like them to be. Anybody who knows me knows Twitter, email, whatever it is, I'm very responsive. I try to be as responsive as I can, you know, when I have the time. And if I see it, if I don't see it, then that's the only reason I'm not responsive. But my people have to be responsive. And this is why I have Empower Me out there as a brand, as a one brand or whatever, and then me. But you will never see my employees, such and such representing Empower Me, or such and such empower me, or, you know, things like that. Because people change, you know, you change up your staff all the time. And plus, I'd rather it be one cohesive unit, one cohesive brand experience that people are dealing with. I'm going to give me one of those scooters. I really am, because those look fun as hell. But anyway, so you got to start thinking about how you want your people, you know, there's a certain way I want emails responded to. There's a certain timeliness I want emails responded to. there's a certain way I want my editors to manage my bloggers. And, there's just different processes for everything. And it's all about the customer experience. And your customer is not always your paying customer. Your customer is anybody who puts eyes on your brand. That's vendors, that's partners, that's employees, that's interns, that's customers, visitors to your site. They have to feel as if they are cared for, that they're respected, and that they are number one, and that they are priority. Hi, Lauren Beauty. Thank you for joining. So what I want you to do tonight is sit down and really think about what your customer experience should be and what it's all about now, and what are the areas that can improve. Love that. Say it again. Which part? Which part do you want me to say again? But yeah, you have to map that out. You have to map that out, because I think that, and let's go back to the whole boss, mogul, power broker thing again, where the bosses and I run a business. It's all about me, 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 me. When you have a company, who your customers are. That's right. Everybody that comes and puts eyes and ears on your brand is your customer. Your vendors, your partners, your customers, your interns, your employees, all of them. So when you're doing your experience, and I teach a class on customer experience, I'm thinking about maybe bringing that back. I don't know. We'll see. But everything that you put your eyes on, everybody that puts their eyes on your brand is your customer in a sense, whether they're paying or not. So for me, it's important that you understand that. Fail, we'll be using that later. Go ahead. I'll give you permission. When you understand what the customer experience is, what you want them to be. Now, when you have a service business, sometimes it's a little harder to identify what that is. Like if you had a salon, let's say salon, that's easy, because all you have, is, the type of experience you want, how long their wait time is, what services you're going to offer them, if you're going to pamper them in addition to their services, different things like that. It's easier when you have a business like that. When you have services, you have to take it to a whole other level, because it's intangible. And when you have intangible, then customers are really kind of flying blind, because it's like, okay, I'm taking a chance. I'm going out on a limb to trust your brand. So you have to be able to give them that experience to build that trust. So let's see, what else? So come up with a customer experience. And what I would suggest you do is, when you kind of envision this customer experience, I want you to write it down. And then when you write it down and look at it and edit it and whatever you need to do, turn it into a manual. And the first thing, when you make a hire, the first day on the job, your new hire needs to get that manual, because they have to understand who your customer is and how to service them. I've been to stores where, and some of you probably can relate to this. I've been to stores where I walked in and didn't look like I was going to be buying anything. And I'll give you a perfect example. I'm going to name names now. I have to name names because there's the only way to learn. Let me see if I remember the name of the store. Well, I was in Santa Monica. My sister and I went on, usually we take our annual vacation to Los Angeles, just to go. A sister trip is what we do. And yeah, I do some business while I'm out there. But we went to this one store. It was in Santa Monica, at the 3rd Street Promenade. If some of you from LA or have been there, you know what I'm talking about. The 3rd Street Promenade, and I can't remember the name of the store. It was one of those high-end Shishi Beverly Hills, and they had a location in Santa Monica at the pier, at the 3rd Street Promenade. Well, we walked in. I had, sandals and shorts and a t-shirt and, whatever it was I was wearing. But I didn't look like I belonged there. I wasn't, fur coats and makeup and, gowns and all that other stuff. I didn't look Beverly Hills, let's say that. And the ironic thing is I went to Beverly Hills that week and I got nothing but great treatment. But anyway, that's a different story. But the guy started following us around. I didn't notice it at first. My niece was with us and my mom and my sister and I ran in. We ran it because we saw shoes, and if you know anything about me, shoes and purses are my Achilles heel. That's my thing. If you know what I mean, tap the button with the shoes and the purses. But we went in there. We just made a beeline for the shoes and the purses. So my niece kind of laid in the cut and looked, and she's like, okay. So my mother came, girls, let's go. We're like, why get out of here? We're looking. So we're trying to see, and we're looking, and nobody came to help us, okay? So finally, I'm like, well, where's everybody at? What the heck was the store? It must have been Louis Vuitton. I think it was Louis Vuitton store. I think. So don't quote me on that. And Louis Vuitton, if you see this podcast or this Periscope, I'm sorry, but I got to tell the truth. Anyway, so the security guard came and started following us, and I'm looking like, what the hell? And he's on his thing. You know how they have the CS, like the what's it called, the Secret Service. They had a little earpiece and so such and such. And I looked, I said, what? I'm like, really? Seriously? And not one salesperson walked over to introduce themselves or to help us or ask us if we needed anything. So mom is like, girls, let's go. Come on. So we're walking out the store, and I looked at my sister. I said, no, this is not right. This is not, the Bluetooth, the little thing, And it was out of character for me, and I had to pray on this afterwards, and I apologized to the Lord about this. But I was so livid at the way they treated us. I went in on a rant like, you know what? I don't know who you think you are. You don't know who I am. And I could buy anything in this store. And what? With your $10 rent-a-cop sign, I went into full Martin mode. And I'm sorry I did that. I mean, looking back now, this was about 3 years ago. And looking back on it now, I feel bad that I did that. But I was so livid that and you know what the funny part about it was? This was a brother. I was like, really? And I think that's what bothered me the most. But that goes back to customer service. It's like, you don't know who I am. So what? I'm not Kim Kardashian walking in there. So what? I'm not Elizabeth Taylor or whatever. You don't know what I'm coming in there to buy. So that brings me back to my thing about you guys and your experience. You got to train your people to, no matter what your clientele is, no matter who the initial inquiry, because you never know who's going to turn out to be your client, Make sure they understand how to treat people, especially if you have a product-driven service. And I just thought it was so rude that he would profile us like that and come in. I mean, I wasn't looking like a bum. I had a nice, top on and some shorts and sandals and, like I had a Coach bag, maybe maybe Coach wasn't the thing in Santa Monica. I don't know, but it taught me a lot. And I wrote a letter to the company when we got back home, and I complained, and they were like, oh, we're sorry. Didn't offer to rectify the situation, but oh, we're sorry to hear that. We'll look into it, whatever. Who knows if they did or didn't. But the fact that you would treat anybody walking in, I could see we had ski masks, a trench coat on or something like that, You got to be cognizant of who comes in and how you treat them, because you never know. The person who came in with a suit and a tie could have been the one to come and rob the place. So you got to teach your people to not make snap decisions or snap judgments about other people, because that's an epic fail right there. So, that's just one of the, I have tons of experiences of things. I'm not going to share all those with you right now, but it was really hurtful, and the fact that, my first trip to Beverly Hills was in when was my son born? My son was born in 1990 was my first trip to Beverly Hills. And when I went, I felt so out of place because people were profiling and all of this, and there wasn't much diversity. But when I went back a couple of years ago, it was diverse. I mean, they were holding doors open. People were making small talk and chit-chatting and smiling and wishing me well and asking me if I needed anything. So I'm like, oh, shoot, Beverly Hills has changed. I'm like, I could get used to this. It's so different than from 1990. So to go into Santa Monica and experience that was like, what the heck? What? Like, you're not Beverly Hills? I could see if you were Beverly Hills, I still wouldn't accept it then, but it was just really a surreal experience. So, I mean, it goes back to me saying, make sure that your people understand how they treat people, how they service people, because you never know who knows who. Plain and simple, And I guess I can give you an even more prominent look at what Hermes did to Oprah Winfrey. And I'm not Oprah. I don't have Oprah money. So, but yeah, make sure you have a documented manual for your customer experience for your employees, something that can be used and shared over and over and over. So that's my tip on that, as far as customer experience. I don't know if you guys have questions. I see the numbers have dwindled down. I hope I didn't bore you guys, but you guys kind of zapped my energy from the last Periscope, because we went in. We really did. And I didn't expect to go that long, but I just wanted to come back in and kind of finish up the mini-series. And I think that I got to figure out what my next topic is going to be, because I'm going to come back a little later on tonight and I'm gonna make it epic. I'm gonna make it something that we're gonna get some real talk going on. I want to answer questions. I want to just really like have your minds. You see that commercial with the guy? He says, "Oh, all I have to do is trade you these pantaloons for this doll or whatever it is," and then their minds go, psh, all of their minds explode. That's what I want to do. So I'm really trying to see what topic, what would be good, and it got to be before Empire. No, today's Tuesday. Okay, we good. Nothing good come on TV. Well, no, Agents of Shield comes on at 9 o'clock, so it got to be before 9 o'clock, or maybe after 10. I don't know, but I want to really, and if you guys want to tweet me or Facebook me and give me some topics, I mean, nothing is off limits. Nothing is. Well, hell, I done shared so many intimate, private secrets with you guys already. So I don't think anything is really off topic except like my deep personal, stuff. But I mean, I want to make this. I want to wrap this up and make this next episode, this next Periscope that I do later on today. I want to make it something that you guys get value from, and something that you get some learning lessons from. Something that just really makes your mind just open up and expand for your business, because that's what I want to do. I want to open the possibilities. I want to open up your mind to the possibilities about what your company can become. I'm not teaching a class. I'm not selling you anything. Well, yeah, I already told you guys about Incubate to Accelerate, but not everybody is ready for that program. But I want to do my part to help you guys just really reach for the stars. I don't want you to set limitations on yourself. I don't want you to set bars. I don't want you to let failure dictate if you go forward or not. I don't want you to let failure paralyze you. I don't want you to let fear of failure to paralyze you. Because here's the thing. Like I said earlier, failure is a lesson. It's a learning lesson. I've learned many of them. I've had many of them. But a lot of people don't try because they're scared to fail. And I don't want you to be that way with your business. Because if you're going to play with the big boys, if you're going to play high stakes and you're going to jump into the big world of business and start running companies, you got to be willing to fail a little bit. You got to be willing to experiment, and you got to be willing to fail a little bit. But the catch is learning from those failures, turning them around into lessons that you could use. And a lot of people are afraid of that. And there's nothing to be afraid of. So I want to strip away all the fears. I want to strip away every excuse that everybody can have for not trying or not doing it. What's that saying? You don't fail until you don't try, or something like that. I don't know what it is. I'm just making it up at this point. But I want you guys to really embrace change. I want you to be open-minded. I don't want you to let any barriers. Money shouldn't be a barrier. Access should not be a barrier. Time shouldn't be a barrier. Fear definitely shouldn't be a barrier. So, a lot of us, we pull ourselves up from the bootstraps, and you have to do that. So anyway, start thinking about it. And if you're watching this on the replay, hopefully you can catch the next one. I want you to really focus on some of the questions that I can answer for you. So let me know. And they did a photobomb. You did a photobomb? Y'all can do a photobomb. Okay, see, they did a photobomb. But you never know who you meet out by the lake. But I want you to really think about it. I want you to think about what you want to talk about. Think about some topics that scare the hell out of you. Yeah, let's talk about it. Topics that scare the hell out of you regarding your business, not your personal life. I'm not a counselor, anything like that. But yeah, think about tonight. Think about it. I'm going to try to come back on maybe about 7:30, 8 o'clock or something like that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we'll do that. So come up with your questions, come up with your topics, tweet me about them, or email me. Oh, you can email me at info@empowerme.org. My website is empowerme.org, of course. I told you guys before. Or tweet me at talentdiva and let me know. And you know what? Use the hashtag Mogul Chicks Chat. And chicks is CHIX. So hashtag Mogul Chicks Chat. That way I know it's a topic that you guys want to talk about. And I'm going to put some feelers out there on Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus and all of that to get you guys questions. And let's just do let's do it. Let's rock it out. Let's do an open Q&A and we'll make it happen. So Thanks for tuning in and letting me ramble about failure and customer experience and all that good stuff. One more look at the lake because it's about to rain. Beautiful lake, beautiful lake. People over there. I don't know. I don't think they're messing with the alligator today. So I don't know. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later.